What is that inflation? US Fed to print 425 billion for New Year's, 3 times Bitcoin's market capitalization. Oh yeah, right, it's money. And what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode on the CryptoWealthy channel, and in today's video we're going to discuss about this Bitcoin breakout, which I did already made a video when we were still in this triangle, but unfortunately I had to record all over again in order to update this break on the downside, unfortunately. And we're going to discuss about Tether news and also printing the money on the market, which is not good for anything at all right now. And now let's see what is going on over here. And as we can see, Bitcoin already broke, unfortunately, on the downside. Here on the daily chart we can see that we broke and diminished this level of support over here that we had, and now the Bitcoin is probably heading lower to the $6,800 possibly, and possibly we are going to visit $6,500 and maybe even lower of $5,500. As we can see, we already managed to decline from this 20 exponential moving average, which is one of the most important level of resistance. And as we can see, the divergence of these two on the MACD moving averages are going to start again on the bearish side, and the price will continue to fall down as divergences will continue to go sideways. Despite the longs are still trying to push on the upside, this 20 exponential moving average is still behind it, which is not good, and the longs should potentially come back down to retest it and maybe, who knows, break it and still start the shorts going on the upside, while the price could potentially start moving on the downside all over again. Like we said, next station is $6,800, then $65, and after that possibly $60, but we need to see where is it going to end up in the next 2 days, because on the weekend we have a very low volume, and the low volume could push price on the both sides if some kind of a whale comes into the space, buy or sell Bitcoin. I also want to talk about this divergence that we had on the daily charts, which are very long, and the long divergences, I mean big divergences that we have on the charts and on the RSI also over here, are tend to push on the upside very high, but unfortunately we did push here in this triangle and after that decline for 20 exponential moving average, which I think that this divergence already played out very poorly, and now Bitcoin is facing the decline from 20 exponential moving average and possible fall down to the levels that we already said, because we broke this level of support over here, which is one of the most important, $7,400, which makes this structure very important, and we are now below it. And last but not least, we can see the Fibonacci retracement, one of the most important level of support of 0.618, which is $7,200 level of support. We are now below it on $7,000, and now Bitcoin is on free fall after this in this Fibonacci area. Now we need to be careful and not the catching fall knife. So if you're trading, if you're doing some kind of longs, you need to be careful here, because there are big potential that we are heading much lower, and if you are shorting, this is pretty much very good situation right now to put some shorts in order, and also always defend yourself with the stop losses. Never trade without stop losses. And now let's jump into some other news which are also very important for the space. New York AG finds it perverse for Bitfinex and Tether to criticize investigation. So for all of those who don't know what happened here and did not follow the news, actually Bitfinex borrowed the $850 million, which means Tether, from Tether company in order to cover losses that they had on the Bitfinex exchange from liquidation offshore. So what that basically means, they took money from Tether and Tether gave them the money from the investors, which should be into the bank in order to cover all that printed Tether in the future if the investor starts withdrawing the Tether in real dollars. So what they did, actually they broke the law, defrauding the investors, taking the money from Tether and covering their own losses, which is not good. And we all know that the Tether and Bitfinex are making a large bubble in the crypto space, because we all know and we all heard and read in the news that they did not cover all Tether that they had with the real dollar in the banks, and that is not if the people try to withdraw all that money into the real dollars. So what they here basically says that they should cooperate with the government, with the New York court, in order to proceed with the investigation, but Bitfinex and Tether are responding like this. Given the extensive jurisdictional discovery, the real reason OAG cannot marshal enough evidence on jurisdiction is that the evidence does not exist. So they're basically saying we're not guilty, there are no evidences, and also they are saying that they already produced 70,000 pages of documents. Court wanted some kind of paper, some kind of documentations in order, so they provided, and now they are saying that there are no more evidences or any paper that should confirm those allegations towards Bitfinex and Tether. And now this is something that I already told you. In their filing, lawyers of Bitfinex and Tether lawyers also made the provocative argument that because the companies are private, they do not need to inform customers of risks to their deposits, despite claiming that Tether had been fully backed by reserve of US dollars, which is not correct. Of course, we all know that customers who choose to buy virtual currency are obviously well aware of that. In doing so, they are not placing their money in FDIC-backed traditional bank accounts or investing in public companies that issue quarter SEC reports. Tether is not good for the Bitcoin and crypto space because they pumping and dumping the Bitcoin price with printing and burning their tokens. Make sure you read this news. We are also uploaded this on Instagram, so make sure you go there and read on our page, and also you can comment in the section down below on the Instagram or on the YouTube and tell me what do you think about this. Are they danger for the crypto space, and how will this end? I really want to hear your opinion. Bitcoin is scam, cryptocurrency are scam, and they are all going to zero. Let me say again, zero.
Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero.
US Fed to print 425 billion for New Year's, 3 times Bitcoin's market capitalization. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest scam in the history of humanity. As we can see, we have since 10 years ago, when Bitcoin's been born, we had since then this market capitalization, and they're printing 3 times in a few weeks. As we can see, the United States Central Bank will inject at least 425 billion of non-existent money into the economy by the middle of the next month. So this money has no coverage. We don't have a goal to coverage, we don't have anything to cover this money. They're just printing it from the thin air, and they're saying that the Bitcoin has no value, that the Bitcoin is not good currency into this market, could not be the good currency because of volatility, and they're still printing the worthless money that is killing us with the inflation, and our goods are going down in value, actually going up in the value, I'm sorry, while the dollar is going down in the value because there is nothing to back it up. And we all know when they're printing the money, that money is worth less and less every single print. Everything is fine, of course everything is fine. While common such moves involve conjuring vast new liquidity based on zero backing, essentially money printing without physically printing any money. Critics, especially in Bitcoin circles, have long highlighted the policy as an example of the failure of central banks to manage economies. Commenting on the most recent Fed announcement, Bitcoin advocate known as Rhythm in Twitter noted that 425 billion is over 3 times the size of Bitcoin's market capitalization. Everything is fine though, he ironically summarized. So as we can see here, manipulation of the market and the money and inflation is big, and they are now trying to sustain upcoming recession with some kind of artificially printing the money, as we all know that the yield curve is starting to not be the yield curve anymore, and after that the recession is going to hit. And what are they going to tell you? Everything is fine. Whenever you see everything's fine and the economy is booming, everything is perfect, that's actually opposite, because only then, when the interest rate starts to go down, then after that few months or year, a recession is going to hit. So don't believe everything they say to you, because that's how recession are coming actually, and you all know. This is one more reason why should you at least consider investing into the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has no inflationary option as the money that is backed by thin air has. So make sure you have at least some of the Bitcoins in your portfolio when the recession and the crisis comes on play. Please check this news also on the Instagram page. We are commenting there and have a discussion, or just put the comment in the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and thank you very much for watching if you manage it to the end. And until the next video, happy trading and goodbye.